Now, the occasional rift between governors and their deputies has continued to characterize the Nigerian polity over time. The recent one being the disagreement between Governor Basiki of Edo State and his erstwhile deputy, Philip Shuaibu, which eventually saw his exit from office through impeachment by the Edo State House of Assembly a few days ago. On the platform this morning, we'll take a critical look at what normally causes the rift between governors and their deputies and the constitutionally assigned role to deputies as they perform their official duty. Don't forget that even here in Abia State, we've had that between OUK and Abaribe from 1999 to 2003. And also, we had that just recently, Bazu versus Ude Okochukwu, which of course did not lead to impeachment. But across various states of the Federation, remember in Lagos, Bokna Kerele versus Tinubu at the time, and the list is just endless. Welcome. My name is Ginika Oluwahan, and this is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. Now, joining me virtually to talk about this issue is a public affairs analyst, a seasoned journalist, and a former secretary to the state government here in Abia State, Chief Raf Ebu. He joins me virtually this morning. Good morning, Chief. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
It is always my pleasure, big pleasure to be with you this morning. Listeners, happy celebrations.
Yeah, welcome. Now, let's start with the issue of, let us know why are we always having this occasional rift between the governors and their deputies. Just like I mentioned earlier, just a few days ago, the former governor of Edo State, deputy governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, was impeached by the State Assembly. This has been happening even in Kogi State. James Achoba or something was also impeached. I talked about Kerele Bokno in Lagos State, who did not settle well with his former boss. That's the current president, Bola Tinubu, the governor then in Lagos State. In Abia State here, we've had our own fair share of this rift between the deputy governors and their bosses. In from 1999 to 2003, it was OUK versus Abaribe at the time. So what actually causes this kind of rift that we see in the polity?
Well, thank you very much, Genita. I think it's an important issue, but let me begin with this preamble. Sometimes it amazes me that we love endpoint reactions. We wait until the expected accident. I said expected accident. When it happens, then we begin to run helter-skelter. Remember, I have always said when I appear on your platform that I hate what I call endpoint reactions. There's nothing that has happened now, especially as it surrounds this issue, that we couldn't predict, that we couldn't say this is what it should be. A position like the president and the vice or the deputy, as the case may be, is such an important relationship that we ought to take into consideration. But we allow things to boomerang and then pour on our face, pour ashes on our face, pour fire on our face, and then we begin to burn. And suddenly we rise and we begin to grapple, not even seek, we begin to grapple for way out. That shouldn't be the pathway. Now we are discussing this because in Edo State 2 days ago, Philip Shuaibu was unceremoniously made to exit the very enviable seat of deputy governor of Edo State. If we have followed that event, like I've said, you would have expected it was coming. Why is it so? Bad political culture. Okay. Bad political culture. I listened to a new compilation done on Wiki of River State yesterday. I saw it on Facebook and I was laughing. Why was I laughing? He was now telling us what ought to be. He said, when you finish your tenure, you go and allow whoever will succeed you. One, to be chosen by the people. Two, to have a free hand to rule. But you can see that he left, and then the Nigerian bug, I'm talking about negative politics now, is still there, happening in River State. The governor insisted he must choose somebody, not necessarily his deputy. He went to the civil service, brought up the accountant general, and then he's happy to tell us. That is what he has been telling us. He said, I produced him. I made him. Not the Rivers people. The Rivers people are now the ones now, in terms of afterthought, claiming we produced him. So you can see the aberration. First is bad politics. Two, will be lack of convention. Everything must not be legislated. I've said every good conduct must not be a subject of legislation. Now people are beginning to talk. Are they spare tires or not spare tires? Are they effective? Even I had a view yesterday on Arise Television where somebody was advocating that the office of the deputy governor should even be done away with. This morning, I think on your station too, on that very good program handled by Omoti, somebody was saying it's like chief of staff work more. Why don't we do away with the office of the deputy governor? He said they don't respect them. It's not about respect. It's about also political convention. When in other places that we see things work, the deputies have roles that they give to them, whether it is in the constitution or not. Yeah. Any good governor that is sure of himself, that is strong, visionary, and wants progress, will want every member of his team to be active. And that shouldn't be a threat to who you are. But in Nigeria, you can see they choose, they make the choice themselves, and give them just 6 months. Then you begin to see trouble. Now you see what accounts for that. Everybody is running on ego. So the point I'm making is it is not about legalism now. It's not about amending constitution and giving them more, making them active or inactive. It could be about political attitude and then a progressive political culture. You know, having men and women of vision who know what it means to develop a society wherever they are found. I listened to the Edo State analysis in-depthly yesterday, and you find that in the case of Shabu, he was given everything he needs to be a deputy governor. I understand he was superintending over about 3 strategic ministries, sports, is it education, and another one I can't remember now. But yet, they couldn't manage their relationship to a very successful end. So you will see problem of ego, challenge of ego. Then you will see challenge of bad politics. Oftentimes over-ambition. Over-ambition is not too good. Where you are per time, you must know where you are per time. If you choose for any reason to be second in command, you will know that your boundaries are clearly delineated. You don't need constitution to state that. Once there is a boss, there is a boss. It must reflect in your conduct. It must reflect in your acting. It must reflect in your associations. Okay. And you don't need to go far to see that. If you watch the American system that we use, you will see that Paul Harris, I've forgotten the first name, Harris, the lady vice president, you can see she moves quietly, careful about statements she will issue, even when representing the president. And you find in those states too, you don't hear so much about who is a vice governor or whatever. Okay. Because certain positions will behold certain attitudinal bent and of course conduct. Now, and when it becomes overbearing, there is bound to be problem.
Now, Chief, you said that there may not be need for us to have all this legislation as to maybe the Constitution assigning a role to the deputy governor and all that. But I would like us to go to the Constitution exactly, because in Section 193 of the Constitution, Part 2, that is the executive responsibility of a deputy governor and their commissioners. According to that section, it said the governor of a state may, in his discretion, assign to the deputy governor or any commissioner of the government of the state responsibility for any business of the government of that state, including the administration of any department of government. That's one. He said the governor of a state shall hold regular meetings with the deputy governor and all commissioners of the government of the state for the purpose of determining the general direction of the policies of government of the state. You know, so and so on. I've looked at that particular section of the Constitution. I cannot see exactly what they say the deputy governor should be doing. Just like in the case of governor, they said he has the power, you know, he's the head of the executive arm of government. But in this case, with the deputy governor, obviously, going by the Constitution, no assigned responsibility for the deputy governor, Chief.
I've answered you, and said you want straight answers. And I said, when you take a second in command position, it is second in command. Any organization, anything living that has two heads becomes a monster. That is the truth. So if somebody, for instance, I'm not aiming for that, but wants to be deputy governor, you know, or deputy vice chairman of a local community, you should know what you are going in for. Even the Constitution you said, he said, may means if I like,
yes.
Or if you had said share, that would have been much stronger from what the lawyers tell us. He said may. So there is an intrinsic understanding that there is a head, and the head has latitude to act to the extent he wants. Then remember that in my introductory entry to our discussion or deliberation, I said other countries also govern not only by rules. Every good conduct cannot be subject of legalism. Otherwise, the Constitution will be unworthy and unreadable, unpracticable. So I mentioned convention, and I said, how will the convention operate? Convention will presuppose that Rafebu is the governor, that whoever will assist me, I would have cleared my eyes and made a choice, sanctioned by the party people, approved by the Nigerian people. That means we're on the same boat, we're on the same flight, and it behoves on all of us to conduct ourselves and act in such a way that we have a successful flight. As simple. That is a matter of convention.
Okay. Now,
and I said that governors must begin to grow and be sure of themselves. All these things that whether you give jobs or you don't give jobs, or the deputy governor or the deputy chairman begins to act in certain way that is progressive to add, and then people, sycophants, who are also part of the problem, come in and say he wants to outshine you. No. We must begin to have leaders who are sure of themselves, who have capacity, and know that if a commissioner is active, if a minister is active, if a deputy governor is active, it is to the overall benefit of the system. Then I came down again to explain that you too holding the position, you must know your limits.
Yeah.
There are certain pronouncements a commissioner can do. Is the governor holding meeting? He holds the executive council meetings, virtually every week. And sometimes it may not be once. And the other sources and channels of meeting could be through communication, telephone calls and all that, special invitations which you may not know about. So they consult. And that's why I say it's not about a constitutional change or no constitutional change. Maybe it will have to do more with political attitude. In both cases that will affect both the governor to be sure to use his team, and then you too, who is the deputy governor, to know your limits, both in conduct, both in ambition.
Now, Chief,
if you want to run for an office and you're deputy, it should behold you to tell your quietly and in a jovial, nice mood to tell your boss, so okay, you know, we came together. I agree that you have a right, but you see, like Apostle Paul will say, some things may be necessary, but they may not be important at a particular time. They may be necessary. Some things can be forgone. Now, when you enter a structure, it means that certain things can be forgone in the interest of the whole. Ambition should be one of them. If you are running under a man that has not finished first term, your conduct will show that you want him to complete his tenure, which constitutionally provided is 8 years. So you conduct yourself and act, and every mobilization should be in such a way that he is confident of what you are doing. But when you don't communicate, when you don't talk and you're on your own, and you don't realize you're number 2 or number 3, there is bound to be problems.
Okay, now, Chief, some people are of the view that I think let us still go back to it, because we are running constitutional democracy, and some people believe that maybe the Electoral Act should be reworked again to allow the deputies to actually contest for primary election, maybe because they are appointed as soon as the governorship candidate emerges. The governorship candidate will now, out of his own benevolence, say, okay, you will be my deputy, and that stands. Maybe if we can allow the constitution to make the deputy governorship aspirant or candidate to actually vie for that position, go test the waters during the primaries and allow the delegates to vote for you. That may help to address some of these issues we are having. What do you think?
The intention of the constitution is to create a smooth process. That is why it's called grand rules. It is his intendment. The spirit behind the letters is not intended to cause confusion. Now, deputy governor on his own seek delegates votes and run. Are we having two governors or two presidents in one, two chairmen in one state? So they also run inherently. No ticket of the governor is complete without the deputy.
Yeah,
and you can see what
the general election.
No, you can see, yes.
But I'm talking about at the primary level.
That's what I'm saying. And outside you are saying it won't work. We can't go on a reckless journey that will produce more heat. It won't work. What we would demand is for a sound political culture where we are so educated enough, where we are so trained enough to know our limits. There are also people who can run. You didn't mention of people like Toby. You didn't mention of people. There are so many people who have also run. The last deputy governor that was impeached, is it yesterday or the day before yesterday, is the 17th. So 17 put it against those who succeeded. They are fine majority. So this 17 could be casualty of learning process and so on. So that shouldn't make us go into alternatives that will create more chaos. The thing is this, that we must have a political culture and begin to educate anybody that is second in command to know that it's just that. Second in command is second in command. Deputy governors are not spare tires where the political system is right. They are active. A good governor will use his deputy governor not only for votes, but for progress. There are things you won't see. What we will educate them is this. Governor, be confident, be visionary, carry strength. Don't fear your subordinates. If you're in control, you're in control. So we teach them that. Don't go to humiliate them. Then we turn around and educate whoever is going for second positions. Anywhere, be it in companies and so on. Second position is a second position. Your boundaries are clearly defined. Even if there are no rules. Once you are second in command, you are second in command. So sometimes communications could solve some of the problems we are talking about. You want to go to Enugu, you go and tell your boss, sir, I hope it will meet your expectations. I want to go to Enugu for a burial. You don't just hop into your car and begin to drive to Enugu. So you tell your boss, those are small things. You want to call meeting, so I'm going back to Omiku, my village. I will be gathering Omiku elders and so on. I want to greet them and then make sure they are still behind me automatically. So things work out, small things that require conduct, good conscience, good intention. I don't want to be a little sarcastic. I will have said some of the things we see are things I call gang war. The spiritual, we have not looked at the spiritual content. It's something we are neglecting. Americans know about that, and what they do is to use law to curtail those excesses, that have been introduced by negative spirituality. That's why in America, you do anything, whether you are a big man, you say you are a big man, you park your car in the middle of the road, police will appear from nowhere, irrespective of who you are. But we don't have that kind of system. So that is the thing you will begin to craft for. Senate electoral system, it will take care of this thing. If we had a system where a governor cannot single-handedly impose somebody on even the party, they will begin to fear. They will see need to take everybody. So that is why it's a bad political culture. Part of what is behind this is that Obaseki went outside and brought somebody from Lagos like himself, and the person have successfully emerged the
governorship candidate.
The governorship candidate of his party. I can bet you much against the support of maybe 60-70% of his party. So he has emerged. And now, he will, whether we like it or not, he will say allegation. It may not be allegation. It may not be allegation. Now, he will push it through because, let me be charitable, I don't want to mention what you will say legal. He will push it through with funds that he would not have had ordinarily if it were an ordinary citizen like me. I think those are the aberrations. Now, if we're able to have internal democracy and then you have credible electoral system, you will see that increasingly, people will begin to respect each other, even to the ordinary person. So why it is so? Principally why it is so? Rugged ambition of the so-called deputies who don't know their boundaries, lack of communication, and a faulty electoral system. So it now empowers people to behave the way they like. But if the governor knows that if he goes to the party, he can't push through a one-man ticket, it won't work. So you can see, Wike was telling us, say, who is Fubara? Why should Fubara be talking? He couldn't even buy form. And I can bet you when Wike was local government, you asked the chairman, you asked him to buy a form for a government, you couldn't have. So those are where technical places where those problems start. One is not about changing constitution. You can't create a muster by asking people to contest and seek for delegates. But technically, they also wrong because the ticket is not complete until a governor has a deputy governor. Now, what should be it? We should have governors that are grown up. I don't see Oti, for instance, being afraid of his deputy. He is well exposed. He has acquired some knowledge in terms of corporate experience. He can always say, this is what you will do and this is what you don't do. And whatever the deputy governor, he knows he has capacity. So there shouldn't be issues. But when we teach them to rapport and communicate, a little openness, and then a conscience that is pure, some of these things will just vanish. They will vanish.
Now, Chief, why is it that this issue of this rift that we normally see between governors and it's more rampant in the state? At the national, apart from Atiku versus Obasanjo at the time, we've not had such rift at the federal level. Why are we always having it at the state?
State is more nearer to the people. State is open to more people. Influence paddling is more at a level people can control, state and local government. You will see that elections are usually more fierce in those places than even the federal. That is the truth. I'm even one of those advocating that maybe I use this opportunity to say it. Our election this should be redone. Our election sequence. I want it to be reviewed and redone. The pure election should start from the small and grow to the top.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you may see a difference if you have that. When a vice like Atiku had influence. If you start from local government and we keep going up, or House of Assembly as the case may be, and we go up, you'll see that those who want to run for governorship will establish some more influence, and that's what politics is all about. But we must learn to manage a coalition of influences. That is where we're lacking.
Okay, Chief, before I let you go, quick one. As SAG of the state, were you more powerful than the deputy governor at the time?
I can't be more powerful. Deputy governor is deputy governor. That is what I keep saying. But whether I was very effective, yes. Because office of the secretary to government is supposed to be the engine room of government. And if you understand your job, you act. I was supposed to look into the ministries and see who is, just like what Hadiza is doing, find out who is meeting our expectation and who is not meeting, reminders. So it's a powerful place. But that doesn't mean you are more powerful than the deputy governor. I don't think so. That is what I said. Any office holder must know his limit. A deputy governor remains a deputy governor. Where things function properly, I've said it, and you're just repeating it. Where things work properly. Supposing I use myself, if I'm a governor, my deputy governor will be as strong and powerful as myself, because I will be very confident. You can't be everywhere all the time. So where I can be, let the deputy governor be there and act exactly the way I would have acted. All I need is communication, which I've said, and then open conscience. That I give you leverage does not mean you should use it to my disadvantage or disadvantage of the system. That is what has just happened in Edo. They gave him plenty of leverage and he didn't know when to stop. So that shouldn't be. So there is no comparison between office of deputy governor and secretary to government. Secretary to government, yes, injury, but that is how it is created. So it doesn't mean. But the deputy is almost a thin line between the deputy and the governor. And if where he is well used, he will be active. And I insist that deputy governors are not stay-at-homes and they should be well used. But they themselves must know that the title deputy places a limit. You don't even need a law to tell you that. It places a limit. So you must act cautiously, sensibly, openly, with a conscience that is manifestly clear.
All right. Let me sincerely thank you so much, Chief Rafi, public affairs analyst and former secretary to Abia State government. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's take a breather now. When we come back, we will be on to another veteran on this job. That will be a veteran journalist and also a social commentator. He will join me when we get back from this break. Please do stay with us. Former deputy governor was impeached over, according to him, he said he had the ambition to become the governor. And for exercising that particular right of his, he was made to exit the power. Well, joining me virtually to talk more on this issue is also a social commentator, a veteran journalist, Comrade Peter Okore. He joins me virtually this morning. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
Thank you, Gurika.
All right, welcome. Now, with the issue we are talking about, the rifts between the governors and their deputies, are we going to see an end to this political tussle between these two people? I mean, there are two powerful people in a state. Are we going to see an end to this? Because if we continue seeing these rifts go on from time to time, it's going to affect governance in each of the states where these things are happening.
Well, something that has a beginning eventually will have an end one day. In the case of Edo, because of the personalities involved, it's not going to end very soon. No, Oshomole is there, wearing his influence. Philip, the young man said his error is just like he opted that he has an eye on the governorship. And the governor himself wants to continue. And he has his own interest somewhere. It's a clash of interests. For us to draw a balance, really, we have to be very careful in choosing the governor and his deputy. It's called the rapport, the romance between Abia State Governor Senator TLJ and his deputy, Colonel Ananaba. See the romance between both of them, because Ananaba had no political ambition.
Okay.
That's why they parlayed. So any state or any governor who has a deputy who has a political ambition, will definitely this rift will be there. It will surely be there. Human being being what they are, the rift will be there. The rift will be there. So we pray that sooner or later, Edo will have its own way out. You know, it also played out in the area of Ojos or Carlo, and the rest of them. Going through the line, it's only Okochukwu who served as his tenure, and he didn't serve at that tenure smiling.
Even when he actually contested, you know,
yes,
he contested for the primary to become the governor.
Yes. It didn't come up fine. His master didn't have it fine with him. He was humiliated, insulted, pushed to the corner. The relations of those hanging around, the hangers on around the governor, went on against Okochukwu because he had interest in the governorship.
Yeah.
And the powers waited around the governor to make sure that they doesn't want Okochukwu to have a share in the struggle. So he went that way. So there has to be a balance between the governor and his deputy. Now, whom he wants to be his deputy. There has to be a balance.
Okay. Now, I don't know if, like I suggested earlier to my first guest, should the primary election of political parties make provision for deputy governorship aspirants to contest for the during the primary election? Maybe that will help to reduce this rift we normally see among the governors and the deputy.
If there's anything like primary other than selection,
yes.
If there's anything like it, but if elections are to be to be what they should be, I mean, it should be sorted out at the primary level, and they march majestically to the main show. But you see, the governorship aspirants having an eye on somewhere else, the society, the members having an eye somewhere, the influential stakeholders having their own choice somewhere. I mean, it wouldn't be any coherence. But if they could be really primary, where the real choice of the people can be taken chosen at the primary, well, we can have it fine.
Okay, so would it also be proper, because going by the Constitution, it appears that there's no role assigned by the Constitution to the office of the deputy governor or the deputy governor as a person, you know. Is that why we are having this rift? Because it appears that the deputy governor will rely on the function assigned to him by the governor for him to function.
Definitely, that's why they call them spare tires. This is the actual thing also happening in the communities where governments have been recognizing traditional rulers and the Azo goes. That rift is still there and will continue indefinitely at the communities. There hasn't been any rapport between Azes, the Azo elects, and Azo goes. Since this creation, there hasn't been any progress so far in the communities. Well, coming to the deputy governors, there should be a law. There should be a law streamlining the functions of the governor and the functions of the deputy governor. For the deputy governor to rely wholly, a full-fledged man, relying on whatever the governor tells him, irrespective of his background and credentials, it's not fair enough. I suggest that there should be a law streamlining the functions of those. Since there's provision for deputy, we must assign responsibilities to the deputies and let them keep the such.
So, I mean, is there anything wrong if a deputy governor has a political ambition? I mean, he is a politician. For him to have occupied that position of the deputy governor, he is a politician and as such may have political ambition. So is it wrong for him to express that? Why would they always run into conflict with their bosses each time they want to express, their political rights?
I say, capital, no, there's nothing wrong in deputy governor aspiring for the governorship. But the problem is greed and selfishness on the part of the governors. Greed and selfishness. No, in Nigeria, the Nigerian politics is dirty, really. I don't like it. It is personal. They look for their own personal interests, not service to the people. It is personal. So it is greed and selfishness. Otherwise, there is no problem for a deputy vying for the governorship. No problem. There should be no problem at all. But people, because of what they have in mind, what will
Hello? Hello?
It doesn't go that way. There should be no restriction. Every deputy should have an eye on the governorships too.
Okay, I think we should leave it at that. Let me sincerely thank you, a veteran journalist and social commentator, Mr. Peter Okori. Thank you so much for being part of today's program. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Well, it's time for us to open the phone line so you can be part of the discussion we are having, and we are looking at the occasional rift between governors and their deputies. What do you think should be the way forward? Why are we having this issue? Don't forget that Abia State has had his own fair share of the issue we're talking about. In Edo 2 days ago, in Kogi some years back, and several other states, and even at the national level. Remember Atiku versus Obasanjo at the time, when Atiku wanted to contest for the office of the president, and they had this rift. What do you think should be the way forward? Call us now on 080-8182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. You can also send your SMS on 090651-08289. Hello? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ginika.
Welcome.
Mr. Chijoke is my name.
Welcome, Chijoke. Go ahead.
Mr. Ginika, on the issue of deputy governor and governor, personally, I will tell you that the only problem I always find out in these two parties is all about selfish interest and greediness. For example, we have seen in some states people that we cannot say that they have made it in life in terms of political career or other things. But they will just somebody will just pick them or nominate them to serve as deputy governor. And to me, I believe that if you come in as a deputy governor, you know that you have Oga. And there's no way you know, I know you also have your right when the time reaches to contest, if you want to contest. But you cannot just come and say that your Oga is nobody again, that you have arrived to determine. Even if you ask me, somebody having an 8 years as a deputy governor, I think you have been settled. You can allow others to, contest.
Well, why would you say that the person has been settled when a governor can serve for 8 years and still look to contest for presidency and even Senate? So why would a deputy governor not contest for same?
What I'm trying to say is this: we should not see it as a do or die. If you have opportunity, you understand. If your governor nominated you or supports you to become a governor, it's not a bad thing.
Right.
But don't see it as a do or die.
Okay, thank you so much, Chijoke, for calling us there. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning, welcome. Okay, I think this line is bad, maybe call us bound. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ginika.
Good morning, welcome.
Good evening, I'm calling from Oman.
Kindly speak up, who say man know they, please.
Who say man know this name? I'm calling from Oman. Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead, I can hear you now.
Okay, I quietly listened to Pastor Rafibu and the second man you called, and the analysis. To me, I found out that the issue that is remaining here is constitutional issue. Like you suggested, most times we will come and talk about whether deputy governors, irrespective of the deputy governors, some people are calling them spare. But don't forget that the same immunity that is guiding the governor is still with him. Most times, if a deputy governor, a sitting deputy governor had an issue, you won't try him, issue of theft or robbery or whatever. You won't try him until his term of finishes, because it's a joint the ticket is a joint ticket of a thing when it comes to political parties. But what I want to talk about is the issue of giving them equal opportunity, or go back to constitution and stipulate means or functions of the deputy governors. Sometimes you see many deputy governors just lying down there. They are supposed to be addressed, but when it comes to whether they have right to contest, they have 120% right to contest, because you see some governors, governors, they go to Senate, from Senate they go to this and that. So no single deputy governor should be subjected in giving up when it comes to a political ambition to actualize it. Thank you,
thank you so much, Hussein Bandade. Let's take another call now. Okay, 080-8182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. Can also send your SMS 090-651-08289. Hello?
Yeah, good day, Mr. Ginika. This is Comrade Paul Ikechukwu.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I actually had all the analysis and, of course, your own purviews concerning testing the validity of deputy governors in the field. And I believe that should be enacted even in our constitution. I mean that deputy governors in nowhere in the constitution is guaranteed the impetus, the full authority to share full term, or rather the audacity of powers with their bosses. What we are saying is that there should be constitutional review where the functionalities and features of deputy governor should be spelled out. They shouldn't be tagged or be treated, denigrated as spare tires. Okay. Deputy governors, they are elected on the same platform with the governor. If a deputy governor has problem, his credentials over screening during the electioneering, he will be such anomaly will affect even the boss, will affect the governor, and the court will strike out the whole thing. It happens in so many states, including Bayelsa.
Yeah.
Really, what's his name, or was affected by whatever that happened via the academic qualification of his deputy.
Yes.
They should not be treated as spare tire. This will continue if there is no constitutional amendment in our country. A situation where SSAs and commissioners are more powerful than the deputy governor, and you want to tell me as a deputy governor you don't have time to even have speculations of powers, or rather being in power. You don't have the constitutional right to tell your boss that you want to contest. You're not even supposed to tell your boss. Somebody said if you are going to visit somewhere, you tell your boss. You are traveling, you tell your boss. For what? You shouldn't tell your boss. You have the fundamental human rights of association.
That's where the disloyalty comes in, Paul. I mean, if you are going for you are under somebody, are you not supposed to notify the person in case you are going out?
Okay, whereby there is fortresses, that the relationship perhaps or obstacles for you to reach your boss. And when you reach him out, he was at function. So does it mean you will not attend other functions? You want to sleep with your wife and whoever that you are telling your boss, you are telling simply because he's a governor? Right. That should not happen. It should be aborted. There should be constitutional. That the governor,
Thank you, Paul.
may have time.
Let's take another call now. Thank you so much, Paul, for speaking with us. Let's take another call now. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Gedeka.
Welcome.
I woke up for Chinedu. I'm calling from Mumbai.
Welcome, Chinedu. Go ahead.
My brother, I think the whole preaching and the message your last caller is trying to tell us is that it's a constitutional problem. And I've always said that there are certain things a new constitution will do for us. We have seen the challenges we are having and facing presently in Nigeria. I think a new constitution will take care of some of these challenges.
Yeah.
And I know the duty of a deputy governor should be spelled out in a constitution, so that they will know that they are functioning together to serve the people. They should have their different duties, their responsibilities, other than maybe in the absence of the governor, the deputy governor will start functioning. And for me, I believe the new constitution should take care of certain responsibilities being assigned to the deputy governor, and it should be a vital one. Then the issue of going for an election, I know the back and forth has always been governors not being in good rapport with the deputies. So if they can settle well with their orgas, that is the governors, it will be a smooth ride for them. But they have always fall out in office, while in office, serving themselves. So most of the time, the governor or the president will see them rubbing shoulders with them.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chinedu. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Oh, okay. cannot hear you. Maybe you change your location and call us back. 08081826949 or 08116052949. Those are the numbers to get through to us. Let's take this call now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah. My name is Uchenna. I'm calling you from Adrampa, then the local government at the state.
Welcome.
Yes. I want to join others of what you have discussed about the deputy governor. You know, what is causing all those things is what you are calling selfish interest. You know, when you see somebody like you are on.
Oh, I just hope you'll be able to call back. Maybe it's network there. Let's take another call now. Hello. Okay, I think we are having issues with the network. Please keep trying so that we can take your calls. But let's go over to our SMS line. Kelechi Obain Ikwana said, for me, the issue of governors and deputies, it pays to be loyal to the end. What played out in Edo State is a law of karma, as what goes around comes around. Definitely. Comrade Philip Shoaibu should learn his mistakes. Thank you so much, Kelechi Oba. This one is coming from David Ejike. He said, my take is let the constitution be amended on the job of the deputy governor. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning. Hello? Your line is bad. Your line is bad. Maybe you can call us again. Let's okay, just call 080-8182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. In a situation where you're not able to get through, you can drop your SMS at 090-651-08-289. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, sir. My name is Paboy. Paboy from Ubodi Nigono, Paramaya, South Asia.
Welcome.
Yeah, I just want to express my appreciation to your program. I say that you should carry on with that program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the appreciation. 080-8182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. America.
Welcome.
Well done, sir. This is Mr. Eze Eni Carlo, the boys from Abiyo House in the local government area.
Welcome.
Hospitality.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Concerning this issue of deputy governor, and I think it will be better anyone that is vying for that position at the initial stage to understand the duty and the position of that deputy governor. You are a running mate. You want to know that you should be loyal to your boss. Whenever you enter there, you should not start rubbing shoulder with your boss. I think you should remain loyal. You should remain loyal because many a times the governor always assign duty to the deputy governor. In the other way around, if they want to make sure that the office stands on his own, let that provision be created in our constitution that the social office, social duty is supposed to belong to the deputy governor so that you know the extent he can be covering, not to rubbing shoulder with the governor. Because what happened in Edo State is not because he declared intention of contesting, just because of his previous behavior towards the boss. He has not been loyal. That is why when he indicated interest, but was not in support. But the RDB had been working in loyalty with the governor. Anytime he said he has every right to contest, the governor will give him necessary support. But due to the way he has been doing previously, that is why he was here against it. So my own take is that let all the deputy governors, if they are accepted to be loyal to you, remain loyal.
Right.
Work together with that person so that people can achieve a particular goal. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much from Ohafia. Now, to our SMS line, this one is coming from Wisdom Ikechuku Okorochukwu. He said, any deputy governor who wants to succeed his principal should notify him in writing and his intentions to resign his position in order not to affect his responsibility as deputy governor. I don't know where this, if there's any law backing your suggestion. Anyway, it's an elective position, so a deputy governor can still be a deputy governor while contesting for the office of the governor. Anyways, thank you so much, Wisdom. Ovuna Diklan said, okay, you're watching from a Ebonyi State. He said, good morning. I think the best way to stop the occasional rift is to establish a law that will define the activities of the governors and their deputies. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can take the final call on the show before we leave the studio. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gineka.
Welcome, Prince.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen in the house.
Go ahead.
I remember Mr. Prince Olusogu from here, no one at your board. Gineka, do you hear me very well?
I can hear you very well. Go ahead.
Correct, my brother. The issue is this. The deputy governors have every right like governors. But the problem is the constitution. What did the status quo say? The status quo says that deputy governors still remain spare tires or second-hand values when the governors are not around. For all these anomalies to be corrected, I believe the constitution should take effect by being overhauling itself or being corrected, so that good deputy governors will have the same status with that of the governors. If that is not taking place, believe you me, what has been happening to deputy governors nationwide will be a continual process until the constitution gives power to deputy governors.
All right.
These are my statements. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Prince. I think it's time for us to leave the studio and allow Govinci to come on board. Let me sincerely thank all of you who called in, who sent in your SMS, and even your comment on our Facebook page. Thank you so much. May God bless you. And Stanko and Charles, the guys behind the camera, we appreciate you. To my producer, Samson, God bless you. My name is Ginika Olwaha. Let's keep praying for Nigeria and the Abia State to become great. Good morning.